Hello, once again, my name is Auntie Ayo. I want to pick 10 random common entrance questions, 10 random maths questions. So let's go. The first question says, how much will I pay for 800 shares if one share is 65 kobo? Please note that it's kobo. One share is 65 kobo. So how much is 800 shares? Now look at my arrangement. You will see that one share and 800 shares, they are on the same line, the same arrangement, while the 65 kobo and the amount I don't know are also together. So one share and 800 share are together, 65 kobo and the amount I don't know are together, so that I can cross multiply. Look at it again. One share is 65 kobo, that's money. 800 shares is I don't know. So I use a number or anything to represent what I don't know. That is algebra. Now what I will do is to cross multiply. Have you seen the way I cross multiply? So as I cross multiply, we will now pick 800. We say 800 times 65 because they are pointing at each other, divided by 1 because this one is on its own. 865 that are together, that's what I'm multiplying. So I have 800 times 65 will give me my final answer because it's over 1. Don't forget 65 is a kobo. It's in kobo, please. So let's multiply. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 8 is 40. 6 times 0 is 0. Look at where my second 0 fell. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 8 is 48. See the arrangement. So let's add it together. We have 0, 0, 0. 8 plus 4 is 12. You carry 1 and then you have 5. So our final answer is 52,000. But it is what? In kobo. So if it's 52,000 kobo, it's going to be how many naira? Don't forget that 1 naira is 100 kobo. So x naira is 52,000 kobo. For me to get the answer, just use these 2 zeros to cut these 2 zeros. Your final answer in naira is 520 naira. You might have to look at that video again. The second question says the volume of a cuboid. A cuboid is like a cube, but it is rectangular in shape. It's something like this. This is a cuboid. So they say the volume of a cuboid is 240 cm. And then we are given the length is 10, the breadth is 6, but the height we don't know. They say we should look for the height. You understand? The volume is 240, the length is 10, the breadth is 6. We don't know the height. So how do we get it? The first thing is to get the formula of volume. The formula for volume is length times breadth times height. That's the formula for volume. So under this formula, let's arrange ourselves. Volume is 240 is equal to length, which is 10, and the breadth is 6, but we don't know what the height is. We continue our calculation. We come here again, we say 240 is equals to this 10 times this 6 will give us what? 60 times height. Volume is 60 times, that's 240 is equal to 60 times height. Now for me to get height, I have to make height a subject of formula by making sure that on this side that my height is, height will be the only item there. I have to move this 60 to this side. Please take note, I want to move 60 to this side so that height will stay alone. So for me to move it, I ask myself, what is the connection between 60 and height? It is multiplication, the multiplication sign. So when I move it to this side, the opposite of multiplication is division. So when it comes to this side, it will no longer be multiplication, it will become division. So I move it here and I make it 240 divided by 60. Invariably, what I will have is 240 divided by 60 is equal to the height that we are looking for. Then I can cut this 0, we cut this 0, 6 here 1, 6 in 24 is 4. So height will be 4. If you put that height in that equation, you will get the right answer. The next question says, I'm looking for, okay, look at this question. That is question 3. It says, which of these angles is a complementary angle? A complementary angle. A complementary angle. A complementary angle is an angle. We are talking about two angles that form a right angle. Two angles that form a right angle. What's a right angle? A right angle is 90 degrees. This is how it always looks. This is a right angle. So when we see two angles like this that form a right angle, this one can be 60 and this one will be 30. We call them complementary angles. Or this one can be 50 and this one will be 40. But when you add them together, it will form 90 degrees. We call them complementary. Now let's look at question, I believe that's question 4. Question 4, because I'm not going serially. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, question 4. It says that the average of 10 boys, the average of 10 boys in a class, the average is 11 years and 4 months. The average of 10 boys in a class is 11 years and 4 months. That we should find the sum of their ages. The average of 10 boys, don't forget there are 10, is what? 11 years and 4 months. Then we should find the sum of their ages. Now, how do we get average normally? The average of a set of number, for you to get the average of 5 numbers now, you will add the 5 numbers together like this and divide by 5. That's how to get average. How many numbers are involved? 5. You will add those 5 numbers together. Whatever you get, you divide it by 5. So in this question now, they said they have already gotten the average. That means they added 10 numbers together. A, B, C, D, E to J. They added it together and divided it by 10. And when they divided it by 10, they got 11 years, 4 months. So how do we now get the sum of their ages? The sum of their ages is that number without dividing by 10. I don't know whether you are getting the logic. If we add all this together now, we will get a particular number. Then we divide that number by 10 to get the average. So for you to get the sum that's the total of all their ages, you will undivide by 10. That means the one you have divided by 10, you multiply it back there. You understand? So what we are doing is to multiply 11 years and 4 months by 10. There are two ways I can do this, but this is how I want to do it. I want to multiply 11 years by 10, then I'll multiply 4 months by 10. 11 times 10 will give me 110 years. Then 4 months times 10 will give me 40 months. My answer will become 110 years and 40 months. But I cannot leave this answer like this because I have 40 months that can still be converted to years. So how many years will I get in 40 months? In 1 year, I have 12 months. So in 40 months, I can still see 3 years, that's 36, and then it will remain 4 months. You understand what I did there? I will now add it back here. I will get 113 years and then 4 months. If you don't understand, go back and look at it. That was question 4. Now question 5 says 3/5 of a particular number. What's the number? I don't know the number. So I use X or I use A. So it says 3/5 of A is equal to 120. So it's asking me that what is 4/5 of the same A. If 3/5 of A is 120, what is 4/5 of the same A? Now that is also algebra because I don't know what A is and I want to look for it. Now if I look at this 3/5 very well, 4/5, I will see that they have the same denominator, which is 5 and 5. So I can, since they share the same denominator, I decided to remove it so that we can say 3 times A is 120. So what is 4 times A? So if I do that, I will come here and say 3 times A is 120, and I want to make A the subject of formula by making sure that on this end it is only A that will stay there. For me to do that, I have to move 3 to this other side, and for me to move it, I have to change the sign, the relationship between 3 and A, which is times. So the opposite of times is what? Division. By the time I move 3 to this side, it becomes division. It will now be 120 divided by 3. So A is going to be 40. So if A is 40, if 3 times A is 120, then 4 times A that we are looking for is equals to what? 4 times 40. The answer is 160. That is question 5. Now let's move to question 6. Question 6 says that we should look for the area of a shaded portion of this our triangle. Now this part is shaded. This is 14 and this is 6. So invariably we are looking for the area of this triangle, this side, not the whole triangle. The formula for area of a triangle is half base times height, where the base is the under and this is the height. The formula for area of a triangle is half base times height. What we are looking for is this area of this shaded portion, not the entire triangle. So the base of this shaded portion, if the entire triangle is 14 cm, then this is half of it. So the base of the triangle we are looking for is going to be 7 cm. I hope you understand it. Why the height is still 6. So we use the area, which is half base times height, which is equals to 1/2 times what is the base? 7 over 1 times what is the height? 6 over 1. 2 cut 6, we have 3, and then our answer will be 7 times 3, which is what? 21 cm. Remember, the area of a triangle is arc base times height. So that's number 6. Number 7. Let me see if you can get this number 7, because the question is long. Let's try if you can get it. Well, we are given the duration of phone call, like we went to a phone call center and we calculated their last 20 phone calls. The last 20 phone calls. So we got something like this: 2, 2, 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1. This is 10 phone calls. There are commas in each number. So that's 2 minutes, 1 minute, things like that. And then the next 10 is 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. So they went to a phone call center and they calculated that, okay, the last 20 phone calls you made, how many minutes did they spend? They spent 2, 2, 1, 3, like that. This was the last 20 phone calls. Now, the first question said, how many, that is number 7 now, how many calls lasted more than 3 minutes? More than 3 minutes. So this is more than 3 minutes. That's one call. This is another one. That's one call. This is another one. So how many calls lasted more than 3 minutes? We have 3 calls. So that's number 7. Number 8 says we should calculate the mean calls. The mean. What is mean? Mean means average. What is the average call? I want you to take time to write this down, because I'm going to erase it now. Write down this range, these numbers. I want to erase it and use my own book to get it. For me to get the mean,